Mangwana is reportedly on a personalized witch hunt against the Zim Papers Group editorial executive, that is Elias Mambbo, for his loyalty and links to Jenfan Muswere. Remember, the reshuffled minister of then Minister by the current Minister of Information, it must be Zemu. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. There is a story that is emerging about Nick Mangwana. Nick is actually a nickname. His name is actually Ndabani Mangwana, who is the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, has launched a personalized witch hunt against Zim Papers Group editorial executive, that is Elias Mambbo, for his close links with his former boss, Jenfan Muswere. You know, I've always said this about these ZANU-PF members supporting Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa. You know that even permanent secretaries, they are supposed to be civil servants, but they reduce themselves to be actually party members and supporting a party agenda. If you look at what Nick Mangwana post, he posts actually a party agenda rather than being a government worker, a civil servant who is apolitical. He remains intact to politics. So, as much as he had the minister Jenfan Muswere, it appears they were not in good books with the minister, and he wants to uproot everything that has links with the minister as the permanent secretary in that Ministry of Information and Publicity. So, clued up sources drawn from the Information Ministry and Zim Papers says Mangwana wants Mambbo out simply because he is a friend to Muswere, who had a bad relationship with him before his recent removal by President Emerson mini cabinet reshuffle. As a result, Mangwana has now analyzed work issues and launched a spiteful crackdown on Mambbo, spuriously accusing him of intimidating colleagues and leaking a false story about the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation to the privately owned Zimbabwe Independent newspaper. Mambbo worked for the Zimbabwe Independent for years, where he became an enterprising investigative journalist. He also started his own digital media platform, Zim Morning Post, before establishing a newspaper in Malawi, the Independent Digest. However, Mangwana admitted he had no evidence that Mambbo had leaked the story to the Independent. It was just a mere suspicion, he admitted. So alternatively, Mambbo was accused of intimidating colleagues in an editorial diary meeting on February 24, just 16 days after Muswere was removed. And Mambbo confirmed to colleagues in the diary meeting that he would not be involved in stories about him due to conflict of interest as a friend. Mangwana swiftly struck with venom like a black mamba. Mambbo was arbitrarily suspended on February 27 to March 12 on allegations of intimidating colleagues in the diary meeting on February 24. After joining Zim Papers from Muswere's office, Mambbo was officially appointed as Group Editorial Executive on January 1, 2026, having initially joined the media group in 2024 as Deputy General Manager Digital and head of news. Mambbo previously served as the acting editorial executive since early 2025. In his executive position, Mambbo oversees editorial operations across the entire Zim Papers empire, which includes print, broadcast, and digital platforms as he leads the group's digital transformation process. His suspension followed a tense meeting between Mangwana, Zim Papers chief executive William Chikoto, and him on February 24, just an hour after the diary meeting. In an extraordinary act of brazen interference in Zim Papers' editorial affairs by a government official in recent times, Mangwana summoned Mambbo an hour after the meeting, showing he had some informers in the internal caucus chide him and inform him of his immediate suspension without due process. So Mambbo was practically suspended first, and then due process followed later, which is unprocedural. The meeting between Mangwana, Chikoto, and Mambbo eventually deteriorated into a blazing row between the permanent secretary and the de facto editor-in-chief Mangwana. Read the Riot Act to Mambbo. Read the Riot Act to Mambbo, but did not want him to reply, a move which he rejected, leading to fierce confrontation. A Ministry of Information official explained what happened. Soon after the Zim Papers diary meeting on February 24, the permanent secretary got a call from one of the editors telling him that they had been threatened by Mambbo. Mangwana did not waste time. He quickly summoned Mambbo to Munu Mutapa building for a meeting. He told him to bring Chikoto as the case was considered serious and was going to lead suspension. It was a strange development and brazen abuse of office. Firstly, the permanent secretary cannot be involved in Zim Papers diary matters at his level in a public media organization controlled by government. It seemed the permanent secretary does not know the Zim Papers group corporate governance structure and issues well. Ministry officials deal with editors directly sometimes, but that is not supposed to be the case. So that is what is happening. Nick Mangwana having a personal feud with one of the editors at Zim Papers. It must be difficult to work for these demonic institutions. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okangubu Mhlabane is signing out. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I continue to give you more.